So guys, welcome to the Confidently Guessing podcast. I'm James Werby, I'm your host, and today we have a one-of-a-kind guest. He is a DJ, a music guru, a beat maker, Daft Punk lover, French house lover, audio buff, newly 21, friend of mine, Mr. Say Less himself, Lorenzo. How you doing?
Hello. Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely. Couldn't imagine having the first episode any other way. So yeah, I'm here in Eugene, Oregon, right outside the University of Oregon.
Literally right outside the University of Oregon.
You know, we could probably throw something and it'll land on campus from here. So yeah, I'm not in the normal set for this podcast, but you know, first episode, we got to do some cool shit.
That's why it's a very special first episode.
Exactly. So I've known you for a while. Like what's
what is it? Since 04?
04, something like that. We did karate class together. We did soccer
and T-ball. We
did all like the suburban white people shit.
Yeah.
So yeah, but since then you've done a lot of cool stuff, and
yes,
you've gotten super into music. And the first thing I want to ask you about is people.
People. Okay.
You're fucking great with people.
Me?
Yes, you can walk up to anybody, anywhere, and within 30 seconds you're best friends with them. I don't know how the fuck you do that. we'll be at a party, I'll turn my back, and 30 seconds later I'll be like, yo, this is Jeff, this is where he's from. I happen to speak the same language as, like, like what the it just goes from my love of talking. I'm a pretty talkative person. I think it's the ADD in me, but I've always liked, that sounds bad. I was going to say I always like the attention. I don't mean it in that way, but yeah.
I like being noticed in the sense of just being there, you know?
Yeah.
I don't want to be...
You like to become a presence.
Yeah, I don't want to be some guy just standing on the wall.
Yeah. It's ambition.
In any social situation, that's just not how I grew up, personally speaking.
Right. No, that's great. And I watch you and I envy that. I'm like, damn. What the fuck? Like, what was it? It was a party we were throwing for Isabella. One of many. We could talk about that too, but I don't know, someone was coming in to like decorate, and I said hi, introduced myself, it was fine. I walk away and you walk out, and I come back like a minute later and you're like, you're just talking up a storm with this person.
Was it, there was multiple people. There was the chef.
Yeah, there's the chef, the taco guy.
And the lady that was hanging up the decorations.
Yeah.
She was
everybody.
Great. Yeah. That's where my college Spanish really, what do you say? How do you describe
flourished?
It? Flourished? Sure.
Flourished.
Yeah.
We'll use that word. It's a nice word.
It's a word.
Yeah.
It's a word.
Yeah. We'll whip out a fucking thesaurus. Excuse me. Imagine you did that in the middle of conversations. Like, sorry, I don't have the right word for this. Can we pause? And you fucking whip out a dictionary.
Like video game stuff right there.
Yeah,
just
you're
like
talking to an
press
NPC.
Pause.
Yeah, you're like,
hold on, which one should I?
You go on the wiki. You're like, yo, what's going on here?
Most definitely.
Oh my god. And music.
Yes.
You're very cultured with music.
I like to try to be, at least. I try to expand my horizons.
Like, how did that start? Because the podcast is called Confidently Guessing.
Yeah.
So did you just jump into it? You're like, fuck it, like that's...
I think my love for music came from my dad, really.
Okay.
Because, I don't know, he was just I wouldn't say he's a music geek. He used to play instruments, but he never plays them anymore.
Gotcha.
But he just knows all these obscure songs from, like, the Filipino radio back home in the Philippines.
Okay.
And he just put me on a lot of music. Like, a lot of my record collection down in LA comes from him, and I've just expanded my horizons with that.
Oh.
Like, he's the one who introduced me to, like, some Japanese harp player, and I forgot his name, but there's some Japanese harp player that he introduced me to, and some really obscure shit that, excuse me, some really obscure stuff that.
No, you can curse here. This is
okay.
It's fine. Just keep it PG-13.
Of course, some really obscure stuff that many Filipinos wouldn't know, just like Chicano music from Los Angeles,
right.
from the 70s, and it just so happens that he found it and he gifted it to me.
Hell yeah.
And I took that exposure and I really did expand it, because to me, music is a drug, and it's a universal drug, because you don't have to understand the language to really
right.
get a part of the message, you know?
Yeah, no, exactly. And you're starting to do that with me. Like, I've loved music for a while. I didn't listen to tons of music as a kid.
Mm-hmm.
It's very weird. But then one day my uncle was like, "You don't know who AC/DC is?" And I'm like, "What's that?" And he got me, like, you know, the OG iPod shuffles, the ones that were like $50,
like the small square ones.
Yeah, it was like the size
exactly.
of a Tic Tac container.
And there's like no screen. There's no like.
So he got me one of those, and at the time, this is the norm. You would just like rip music off the internet,
like from what, Napster?
Napster,
or like
yeah.
YouTube to MP3.
I mean, I don't think YouTube was a thing yet. It was 2007. Maybe it was 2007. That makes me sound fucking old.
We are getting old, brother.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Yeah, you just turned 21.
Yeah.
Happy birthday.
Thank you.
From the podcast to you. Yeah, everyone go wish Lorenzo happy birthday on social media.
Lorenzo.alzona. Shameless plug.
Shameless plug. And you could plug yourself at the end too. But yeah, you've started to share a lot of music with me, because I got into it. I started listening to more and more music, and then there was this like tipping point where I met you. We started talking about music, and you're like, "Yo, I'm gonna put you onto this shit," or like just the most, not even bizarre, but just like the best kept secret type shit, where I'm like, nobody knows this, but he knows it, and now I know it, and it's great.
Yeah, that's when I'm like taking a really deep dive into music and stuff, is like there's so much music out there that hasn't been heard yet, and
right.
and there's so much beauty in finding a track, let's say from the 80s, by some obscure British punk or pop band, and
yeah, no, a lot of that. Like, dude, you should make a playlist, and I'll post it on the Instagram.
I'm down.
Of just like call it like obscure shit no one's heard of by Lorenzo.
I'm down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'll post it on the Confidently Guessing Instagram at confidently.guessing. Another shameless plug.
Anyways.
Yeah. But I have like show notes of like just random shit I wanted to talk about.
Of course.
And for some reason, I was on the plane when I flew here. Mm-hmm. I was on the plane when I flew here. Wow. And for some reason, this popped into my head. Yo,
hello.
What's up? One of Lorenzo's
this is my roommate.
roommates are coming through here. Yeah. You can come and wave if you want.
It's
right
here.
What's up?
That
guy's a legend.
He has a sexy name too. His name is Om Parek.
Om.
What a guy. What a guy.
Awesome. So I sent you this fucking meme a couple weeks ago that said MILF.
Yeah.
Man, I love funk.
I thought I actually reposted it.
Yeah. And everybody I've told that to, they're like, that is the greatest thing I've ever heard in my entire life. And I live by that.
Yeah.
MILF.
MILF.
Man, I love funk.
Yeah, I know. There's a lot of great funk bands out there. And a lot of funk transcends into and evolves to EDM music.
Yeah. Because, yeah, that's your shit.
Yeah. EDM is like one of my specialties.
French house.
Yeah. French house, yeah. French house is really cool. It's a very obscure music scene from the 90s that's really died down since then. Mm-hmm. But, yeah, no, French house is a great little...
Trying to bring it back, though.
Genre. Oh, most definitely. Most definitely. I could see why some people don't like it, because it's house music. It's gonna be repetitive and all that.
Yeah, but you know, it's good shit. It's art.
It is art.
It's its own fucking thing.
Of course.
Did I show you that album, the Hawaii album, Miracle the Musical? Where was some guy, you remember Shia LaBeouf, the music video Shia LaBeouf, where it was like a whole stage play?
Oh, no.
So this guy, Rob Cantor, it was like, this, how did it start? It was like, you're walking in the woods and suddenly you turn and you see him, Shia LaBeouf.
Oh, that one?
That one.
Oh. Yeah, I've seen it in memes, but like...
Yeah, so that guy, somehow he's associated with this band, or maybe he's in the band. I don't know. I haven't done enough research, but one of the band members got like probably stoned out of his mind, went to Hawaii and dreamt the score of this entire musical. And it is the trippiest shit I've ever heard in my life, and I love it.
That's what LSD does to your brain.
Yeah, it's called Hawaii Part 2.
Okay.
Get that on Spotify, a little shout out there. But yeah, it's crazy. We definitely got to listen to that. And you also introduced me to like British rap in a deeper way. What's that guy? The guy with a really deep voice. What's his name?
So A9 Debo.
A9 Debo.
It's like A92 is like the equivalent of like ASAP, the ASAP mob.
Okay.
So like ASAP Rocky, A9 Debo.
Okay.
And then
but
so
yeah,
on and so forth.
His voice is unnaturally low.
It's like ridiculous.
If you take my voice and then pitch it down 7 octaves, and he's just like...
Yeah, it's like Corpse, that artist Corpse. I think that's his name.
Corpse?
Yeah, but it's more digestible because it's like, I don't know, more digestible for my taste at least.
Okay, I got you.
Because it's more drill, it's grimy, it's real.
Mm-hmm.
The funny thing is, they're not even British.
Really?
Yeah, they're from Ireland. Yeah, A92.
The Irish.
The Irish.
The Irish. Yeah, but like, how do you find music like this? Like, where are you going? What are you doing?
That is a great question. I do like British rap in general, and I've been put on a couple songs. I think it was either through FIFA or just the British culture in general because of FIFA. Like as a kid, I've always liked watching FIFA tutorials, FIFA pack openings, so on and so forth. Excuse me.
Oh, don't die on me.
And because of those tutorials and stuff, there are a lot of British culture memes and all that.
Right.
And being the curious person I am, I've gone out of my way to really try to understand what's going on.
Right.
So.
And then with all music, like, where are you finding some of like the really like the what's that one band shit.
There's a lot of bands
that one band? The people who did Memory Box.
Oh, Peter Cat Recording Studio.
Yeah.
Or something like that.
Everyone I've showed that to loves it. I'm obsessed with that song.
For context, by the way, they're an Indian band, and the lead singer sounds like Frank Sinatra, which is nuts.
Which is
insane to me.
It
I don't
messes
know.
with your brain.
I think I was just what I do on Spotify a lot when I'm up late at night or I'm just looking for new music. I just take one artist that I really love and go to the recommended and just start clicking away. And I listen to random tracks. And if you listen to enough music, I'm also a DJ, by the way. So if you listen to enough music, you could figure out the formula of the song, and you could skip ahead. So you could like kill 2 birds with 1 stone. So you find a new song.
Yeah.
And then I just skip ahead. And if that part sounds good, I'll give it a full listen. And then I'll be like, oh my goodness, what did I just find?
My goodness gracious.
And Memory Box by Peter Cat Recording Studio is, wow.
It's an awesome song.
I want to see it in a, what's it called? Let's say a Wes Anderson film, or just a film in general, you know.
I'll throw it in there.
Yeah.
One day it's going to happen.
One day. You heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh yeah. Did I ever tell you about the time that I went through the Carl's Jr. drive-thru at like 2 a.m, and the guy running the drive-thru was like, yeah, like he basically told me about this band. Did I tell you this?
Yeah. I remember this. Yeah.
It was like, and then okay, for context, I'll retell the story. I was going to the Carl's Jr. drive-thru. I was with my sister at 2 a.m. with my sister Isabella and her friend Alyssa, and we pull up to the window, and this guy goes, "Yo, do you like music?" And I was like, "Yeah." Like, what do you mean?
Is that out of nowhere? Like, do you like music, little boy?
And he's like, "What kind of music do you listen to?" I'm like, "I listen to everything." This is when I really started getting into music with you. So I'm like, "I'll listen to anything." And he's like, "That's a good answer. You should listen to this band called Flock of Pigs." And I was like, "What?"
Oh yeah, and you did show me one song. Aren't they like how would you describe their music?
It sounded like if Hamilton was like more metal. It wasn't bad.
Sure. Okay. Yeah.
But yeah, check that out. Mr. Carl's Jr. drive-thru guy. Shout out to you for telling me about the strangest
Fallbrook?
Group. Yeah. No, this is the one on Platt.
On Platt.
Platt Victory.
Okay. Shout out
To the Platt and Victory
Carl's Jr. That's open always 24 hours.
Oh yeah. Saved my life way too many times.
Really?
Because the Taco Bell across the street, kind of preferred. But at 2 a.m, Taco Bell is not open there.
Exactly.
So yeah, Flock of Pigs. I wonder, like, do you think he was in the band? Like, I think we talked about this.
Maybe he's a big homie of the band.
Homie.
Like he's like the manager, whatever you want to call him, and he was just trying to plug his homie's band.
And he was, you could tell something was like a little off. Maybe he was just tired, but you were just like, what the fuck is up with this guy?
It's like 2 a.m. delusional, like, talking like, to random fuckers.
Yo, check out Flock of Pigs.
For real, dude.
And then, all right, so then once you have all this music, you make bomb playlists.
Thank you. I actually really do take pride in that. Yeah.
I mean, I could tell.
Yeah, I do. I don't know. For me, like, making a playlist is composing an album or like a compilation of music that has generally the same theme.
Right.
And I think that's a big part of a playlist because, like, I've had girls. I've talked to girls.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
And they've given me playlists like, "Oh, let's share music" and shit like that. And
are you about to shit talk them?
Look here. I don't think your Mac's plugged in.
Oh, okay. You keep talking about all these girls.
I just saw the notification. Anyways, when these girls give me like their playlist, I'm just like not disgusted, but I'm just like kind of annoyed at the fact that it's just a bunch of music together that has no general theme, and it's a hard listen if you're just going on shuffle.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. The outlet's not working. Yeah, we can pause for a second. Hang on. We'll be right back after a message from this week's sponsor. This week's sponsor of the Confidently Guessing podcast is Good Outlets. Good Outlets. They make the world go round.
I'm sorry about that. I don't use that outlet right there.
Yeah, I don't either. This week's episode of the podcast is also sponsored by My Wallet.
Or Red Bull's pretty cool.
Red Bull gives you wings. But yeah, if you would like to sponsor an episode of the podcast, you could email us at cg@formscreative.com, or you can DM us on Instagram at confidently.guessing. And
yeah.
you can have a fucking awesome ad spot where I just talk about how amazing your brand is here for a solid 30 seconds to a minute, depending on how much money you have.
Cash rules everything around me.
Yes. Because that's about it. Yo, all right, we're back after a quick ad break that was just fantastic, and then Lorenzo is going to talk more about playlists, and I'm going to talk about playlists too, because I love playlists.
If I remember correctly, we were talking about how when I'm talking to girls and they give me music recommendations, they put it in playlist form, and a lot of it is not really thematical, if you will. Like, let's say that they mix rap music with EDM, and EDM music with like a slow alternative, modern alternative.
It's just
thing.
my vibe, dude. Like, what the fuck?
It goes all over the place, and as a person that really likes music, it's really hard to listen to these types of playlists because you're always on edge.
I can't tell if this is going towards like a super posh, like, get off your high horse thing, or
I don't
or
mean
this
it
is
in any. I don't mean it in any bad way.
Yeah.
I understand that it's a playlist that's not supposed to be played
Right.
randomly or in order. You're supposed to pick and choose.
Yeah, I made a couple playlists that are I call them story playlists. I make them
That's
for
right.
other people. It's all songs that I associate with them.
Yeah.
Some of them are now like songs that I just cannot play anymore. But my description on Spotify for all of them is these songs should be played in order and at high volume, always.
Yep.
And then I just put their name and then disc 1 or playlist 1 or whatever.
Exactly. For me, my tagline for my playlist on Spotify are like Lorenzo for
Yeah.
so and so and so.
And that, yeah, and I do the same thing for titles, but I use initials.
Initials. Okay.
Initials.
Yeah, I keep mine like hidden.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I always was wondering how Spotify did that, where if it's not public, but you still share a link with somebody, is it like unlisted, like on YouTube? Where people can't search for it on your profile?
Yeah,
but
they just can't search it on your profile. If
Okay,
you
I
give
got
someone
you.
a link, they'll be able to.
Because yeah, I've done that
access
for a couple people. But yeah, it's always, mine are always 3 letters. First, middle, and last initial. There's one that isn't that, but we won't talk about that.
it. Perhaps another episode.
But, oh God, yeah, that could be an episode. We can have her on.
Yeah, I'm not trying to sound conceited or anything. It's just like my personal preference when it comes
I'm fucking
to
with you.
Listening to music. Yeah. Anyways,
And what's your like favorite playlist that you've ever done? Like have people ever like commissioned you for playlists?
commission me.
Yeah, or like, hey, I really want a playlist for like running. And you know this person and you're like, okay, I think this is what you would like to listen to.
In the past, yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah. I don't really do that anymore because I've really not cut myself off from the world, but
Wow, you sound
I'm
like
not-
a recluse.
I'm just not
Cool kid.
going out of my way to accommodate these types of requests because
Hey, self-care,
yeah.
especially during the pandemic.
Exactly.
You got to understand that it's hard.
Woo.
Yes.
Woo.
That's a great playlist.
Yeah, no, this is
Is
just
that public?
like, this is public. This
Okay.
is just a compilation of my favorite tracks from the Wu-Tang Clan. They should be all produced by the great RZA, but I'm not too sure. I'm pretty sure, but I'm not too sure.
Yeah, don't quote him on that.
That's my personal favorite playlist right now, but yeah, I've had many. There's like a classical EDM one, which is like
Oh, that one, I used to listen to that on a daily basis over the summer.
so that follows a theme of astounding EDM songs that came from the 90s and where it really
Good use of adjectives.
developed into the modern EDM scene. So without these songs, there wouldn't be a modern EDM scene.
Hell yeah.
Like all your favorite DJs, EDM DJs, love these songs. If they don't, fuck yourself.
Yeah, it's like 10 things that eat. What? How do those ads go? Where it's like, doctors hate this, or like,
wait,
or like 10 secrets that.
Are these ads on naughty websites or?
No,
that's where my mind went.
Oh, bro. Whoa. PG-13 here.
PG-13.
Okay? PG-13.
That's where my mind went. I'm sorry, bro. But you know what I'm talking about,
yeah.
right?
No, it's like it's more on like the spam news sites where it's like but 10 foods the doctors say like it's great for weight loss. Like or like weight trainers hate this one secret.
How I look like a fucking jackass, dude. Whoops.
Hey, but we're not cutting anything out of this podcast, okay? Oof. Never. This is not being edited, mostly because I'm lazy.
That's totally fair.
And also, we want to be true to our audience.
Yeah,
because we love our audience and we love you. So please, share this playlist with everybody you know. Or playlist podcast. I don't even know what I'm talking about.
That's fair. Confidently guessing.
We're literally. Yeah, like the whole point of this podcast was I had never done a podcast like this. There were a lot of things in life that I just hadn't done that I wanted to do.
Exactly.
And I kind of looked at other things in my life that I'd already done. Mm-hmm. Like I've done a lot of awesome stuff in film. I've been very fortunate. I had a lot of opportunities there. So what started that? What am I doing? It's like I just kind of jumped into it. I was confidently guessing.
Oh yeah.
And I found a lot of friends and family that I asked, like, how do you do this? They're like, I just kind of went for it, dude. Like, I don't know what you're talking about.
Exactly.
So, yeah, the whole point of this podcast is just to get people on to talk some humility.
Sorry if you see me burping and stuff. We just ate Filipino food. And it was like my roommate's and his Filipino first food. Was it your first time eating Filipino food?
I think I've had Filipino food at your house
okay,
in like 2006.
That's fair.
But no, it's been a while, but it was awesome.
Thank you.
But yeah, lots of burping.
Lots of burping.
Yeah, for all of our YouTube viewers, or if you're watching this on TikTok, which you're probably not.
Or wherever you're watching this.
Wherever you're watching this.
Catch us on Vimeo too.
Vimeo?
Vimeo.
Hey. Vimeo.
Hey.
Whoa.
Cut that out.
No. Yeah, I'm not going to remember to cut that out.
Oh boy.
So yeah, I guess to get more into the confidently guessing part of what's going on is like we're both the same age. We're getting into the whole adult world, and even people who are a little younger than us and a little older than us are still in the same boat of like, as you go through high school, you're starting to realize like I'm about to like apply for college. I have to make life decisions now that are going to be long lasting. And like, what have you found? Like, how are you going through life? What's like, where are you finding?
Do you want a real answer?
Yeah. Like,
I'm just vibing, you know,
day
like
by day.
I'm literally just going about my day. Of course I have to make big decisions and all that.
Right.
But at the end of the day, I'm usually pretty like calm about it. Like
just keeping calm.
Because sometimes things happen to you and it's way out of your control. And I'm not saying you should not react to it at all, but sometimes you have to pick and choose when to learn to fight. And yeah.
No, and there's a lot of stuff around even just personal anxieties I have around things where it's like I feel like I don't have control over a situation, but I want to control it because it's going to be bad or it's going to be good. But at the end of the day, like you're living your own life and no one else is going to live it for you.
Exactly. And you only get one life.
You only get one life.
From what we know. But that's a different
podcast. That'll be Lorenzo 2.0. That'll be the next episode.
Yeah. Just an example of just me vibing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to graduate this year as a junior with a double major. And
vibing. Applaud, ladies and gentlemen. Lorenzo.
And I didn't really mean to do that. Like, I'm going to be totally honest with you. I was having a meeting with one of my academic advisors at the University of Oregon. And I was just asking, what classes should I take? I was like, you're going to graduate a whole year early with all your credits. And I'm like, what?
Oops.
I was genuinely surprised, and I was just like so happy when it happened.
And did that come down to like you just picking a good major? Because people have a lot of anxiety around that. They're like, which major am I going to pick? Did you confidently guess?
So for my major, I was originally undeclared, and then I was English. No, I was psychology and then English in my freshman year, or like my first term. And I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to do what I love. And I love history, and I love religious studies. And that's such a weird statement, but it's what I really love.
Wow.
And
you're making a lot of enemies. Like, you won everybody over in the first half with all the music stuff, and now you're like, I love religion and history. Ugh. But I mean, you're cool because of it. Like, there's a lot of shit that you bring to conversations where you're like, how does he know this? But you're like, oh, okay, he's passionate about this.
It's because music is a great conversation starter when it comes to meeting new people. Also, like, one of my go-to things to make myself more approachable to new people is just asking them, oh, what's your ethnicity? And
yeah, you do that a lot.
Yeah, and I wouldn't go out of my way to ask, hey, what's your religion? But if someone tells me their ethnicity, and let's say they come from Russia, I'll either ask them, are you Jewish or are you an Orthodox Christian? And then it'll either go either way,
right,
or it won't go anywhere, and I will ask some other stuff. Yeah,
exactly. So that's the secret, is just becoming a history and religious studies major so you can ask people personal questions.
Not necessarily, I don't think. Sometimes you could really be passionate about one thing, and you can use that to your strength.
Right.
Let's say you're a fucking geek, like a nerd. No offense, I'm a nerd too. I'm a geek. Right. I just got some new keycaps for my keyboard.
Yeah.
There's a little cut on my thing because I was trying to open it. Anyways,
check out the YouTube for that.
But yeah, and you could just use that to your strength and use it in conversation where, let's say you're chatting with this one guy and he's not really into gaming, or he is, like,
right.
Usually this is a hasty generalization, but usually all guys are into some form of gaming. And you could just use your knowledge of gaming and just go for it.
Right. Hell yeah.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah, no, that's good. Just the idea of being able to approach people, those different things, because of this, like, passion you have.
Exactly.
And then that made you successful in university, and you've kind of just rode that wave of, like, I'm just going to do this. And did you think it was going to go really well, or did you think...
Sorry, regarding what?
Regarding the major. And just being like, yeah, were you like...
Oh, I knew I was going to do well.
Yeah?
I knew it, because this is something that I've liked all my life.
Right.
And if you really do like something, you'll go out of your way to really understand it, you know?
No, 100%.
Yeah. I mean, I went to a Catholic all-boys school for high school, and then I went to a Catholic school for elementary school and beyond. But my my interest in religion really came from there. And growing up in a religious household, I was really intrigued on how the way the world works.
Yeah.
And if there's a higher power.
Right.
And
then there's me.
Right. And you and I have interesting conversations on I was going to say eschatology, not eschatology. That means, like, that's the end times.
Oh, the end times?
Have we had a conversation? I'm sure we have.
About the end times?
Yeah,
I don't think we have. I think we should have that right now. The end times.
The end times. I don't know.
How's the world going to end? Or what's the apocalypse, like the post-apocalyptic timeline? Because I think we're kind of living in it right now. We broke off from the main timeline when Harambe was killed. I guarantee it. Like, that's an old meme right now, but it all traces back to, like, Coney 2012 and, like, Harambe.
I mean, if you really think about it, what we're going through right now, trillions, well, no, billions of people have gone through in their respective timelines.
Mhm.
Timelines is in one human history timeline and all that.
Their segment of the time. We're not talking about the multiverse
No,
this time.
no multiverse.
We'll get
shit
Michio
here.
Kaku on for the next episode.
Yeah, holy shit. But yeah, just for example, in 2008, economic meltdown. People thought
Right.
the world was going to end. Great Depression, 9/11, so on and so forth.
But it's not the fact that terrible things are happening. It's the fact that it's getting weirder.
It is getting weirder.
Like it's not even right. Like I'm not saying we're in like the alternate timeline because it's worse. I'm saying we're in the alternate timeline because this is what, like, if God existed, these are the cue cards that God threw out because he's like, this is too weird. Like this is not for the main timeline.
Maybe
you know what I mean?
Maybe
like
she's fucking with us.
that's what I'm saying.
You know?
Like this is the fucked alt timeline where weird shit is happening all the time.
It's really weird because call it what you want, but a lot of explanations of religion when it comes to adversity in these kinds of times is that the higher power is trying to is ununderstandable because we're only human, and sometimes it could feel like as a cop out, but at the same time you don't really know because what if there is? It's really complicated.
Yeah.
And I'm not trying to shove my personal opinions down your guys' throats, but I don't know. It's really difficult to understand.
Yeah, it's nuts.
Yeah.
And so, in the same way that you're going through life right now, vibing, I do the same thing.
Yeah, and it's. I'm not saying you should be a fucking lazy ass, stay in bed all day type guy or type person rather, but I feel like there's a lot of things that we can't control.
Right.
So pick and choose your battles for
Right.
sure. Like let's say you fucked up on a test or something. Do something about it. Like go to office hours. Ask to remediate it. Just don't sit on your ass when it comes to that stuff. If you're going through something in life, try to make it better yourself. Like work on yourself a lot more.
Yeah, and it becomes difficult so many of the times. You're
It
just
does. Because sometimes it's really hard to discern when to take action or to not take action.
yeah. I'm gonna be on for like a while. Basically, a year ago, I was looking through my Snap memories. I'm like, damn, I hit a low point around the end of October of last year.
I think a lot of us did.
And
a lot of us did.
Yeah, I just so much shit in my life, so much shit in the world. I was like, wow, James, you were something else. And it took me a while, just to move through that. But it was
me too.
It was just sort of like seeing that light at the end of the tunnel.
This is definitely 2021 for me is a comeback year.
Yes,
So definite
summer 2021.
Movie.
It was a movie, a comeback season.
Oh my goodness, it's so cringy.
Jesus.
It's so cringy. I don't like saying that.
What?
It's gonna be a movie, bro. It's like a typical fucking white frat boy type shit.
Yo, it's gonna be. Or,
Like, I went to, like-
that's more of like a Valley Girl kind of thing to me.
Really?
Yeah.
Over,
It's a movie, or like
I mean, I've spent 3
Pure
years in
Vita.
Oregon. I've
I feel
spent
like that's on a bracelet.
3 years in Oregon,
uh,
and it's usually the sorority fraternity folks. No offense to them, but
yeah, all love. Don't have me whacked.
don't have me whack. No, but yeah, no. I was at a liquor store last year,
Yeah.
and I was like, yo, I was just chatting up some fucking frat bro, and I was like, dude, I can't wait till this shit is over. And he was like, yeah, dude, when it's over, it's gonna be a fucking movie. And I'm like, all right, buddy. All right, bud.
Oh, wait, bud. You know when you call someone, actually, I call everybody bud now. There's that guy Brad Leone on YouTube. He's part of the Bon Appetit Test Kitchen. He basically runs the channel now.
Yeah.
He calls everybody bud. He's like, "What's up, bud?" I'm like, "Oh."
I think that's
He's from Jersey.
oh, is he from Jersey?
He's from Jersey. Yeah.
He gives me Minnesota vibes.
He does. It's his voice.
It's just like Maddie Matheson. I love Maddie Matheson.
Shout out to Maddie Matheson and Brad Leone.
I really hope Matty Matheson would come on a podcast like this. Holy shit!
Oh,
I'd lose my mind.
I'm gonna try to make it happen. I will have you as like a co-host on that.
Shit. I'd lose it.
Oh my god. Yeah, no, because Matty Matheson, just to tie back into what I want to do with this, is like he does a lot of awesome stuff. And half the time he's kind of frank. He's like, yeah, like I just do this. It's almost like Nike. It's like I just do it.
Mm-hmm. Right. Just like a very polarizing figure in the chef scene is Eddie Wong.
Eddie Wong.
You either hate him or you love him, you know?
Him and there's one other guy that writes like these intense, like basically science articles about food. J. Kenji Lopez Alt. That guy, like he doesn't do shows or anything, but every time like Binging with Babish does a recipe, he's like, yeah, so I used J. Kenji Lopez Alt's article on this just to make my recipe. He's like this food science god, legend, icon of the food industry.
I feel like learning about things is great, but if you overanalyze things, I personally would lose passion for it.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's just different strokes for different folks. Like,
of course.
This guy is...
Nice rhyme.
Hey. Always for the Confidently Guessing podcast. Yeah, it's interesting because sometimes there are things that I get obsessed over. Like I have pure OCD sometimes about things. And I'll get so deep into a topic, but then I'll just find more passion for it. And then sometimes I'll try so hard into something, I'll be like, this is terrible.
Yeah.
This is the worst thing I've ever done in my life. And you know, you gotta just find the balance there.
Mm-hmm. Agreed.
Oh yeah. Water break. I haven't cracked my back today. Oh, scheisse.
We had such an interesting night last night.
Yeah, let's round out the last 15 minutes of this podcast to talk about what happened last night. And so, you know, this is how I'm going to tie this in. I had no clue what I was going to do here. I don't know if Lorenzo knew exactly what was going to go down. I
had a general idea. I didn't know it was going to go out that way. I was actually like, last night had everything the good story should have. So there was conflict.
We got thrown out of a Hawaiian party.
There was struggle, especially struggle
trying to find a place to actually go that was the vibe.
And then there was definitely fear.
Fear
is one way to put it.
There were some firearms involved at one point.
And some, I don't know, and just an overall happy ending. I had a great time last night though.
Yeah.
So essentially how the night played out was first we went to some apartment party, it was low-key. It was really early on in the night. There was nobody there. And we just didn't feel welcomed. And we were like, all right, let's go.
So we left.
Then next, we went to a Hawaiian party, which is dope. It was cool. It was better vibe, the better people.
Yeah, the guy Blaze.
Yeah, this guy Blaze. This kid named Blaze. That was crazy. He was raw at Cutbong, but later on in that Hawaiian setting, we got kicked out.
I wasn't following because I was told, yo, James, you're going to be the only white guy here, so just lay low. And I was like, all right, cool.
It's not even, I don't think even that was the thing. It's just like nobody knew us in general.
There you go.
Yeah.
And I stood out like a sore thumb.
Yeah. It was really interesting. I felt really violated there because we weren't causing any issues or anything. But I understand, like, I'm not going to contest it. I'm not going to disrespect them to their face like that,
right.
Even though I was disrespected. Anyways, and then we ended the night at a big Halloween bash at a friend of mine. And
it's a word.
Wow, what a night. There were 50, I don't know, maybe 70% of the people I didn't know there, which is crazy because usually at this location, I know everybody.
His name is good. That was his saying the whole night. My name is good anywhere. We'd walk up. He's like, yo, I'm Lorenzo. They'd be like, oh, we love Lorenzo.
That makes me sound conceited, bro. It was more of a joke.
It's a joke.
It's more of a joke.
It's a joke.
I'm not conceited. I swear.
That sounds like something conceited person.
You know? Fuck off. Yeah, and then at the end of the night, my roommate Kareem, he was really fucked up. That was great. He was dancing on top of chairs and shit. Anyways, on the way home, Kareem started running to back to our townhouse little apartment thing, and
I was the only one that was like decently sober, so I started running after him because I'm like, this guy is gonna run into traffic and he's gonna like die. It was bad. Like he would have flopped like a limp sock.
Yeah, and then
that's a saying. Wow.
We all left at the same time, right? And we were walking back with some fellow. I know him. I just don't know him too well. But
yeah, we can't cut this out. So if you're gonna say it, you're gonna say it. Let's go.
I don't want to say anything incriminating towards him. So I'm just gonna leave out his name and
okay.
I was FaceTiming James because they were so far gone. They were like doing sprints.
Yeah, so I was down 2 blocks up. I get a FaceTime call.
I was like, dude, where are you guys?
And I'm like, I kind of looked at the street sign. I'm like, this is my cross streets. He's like, oh, you're fucking far. I'm like, uh-huh. Yeah.
And then
the homie just ran.
This guy that I was walking home with, or we were in the same direction. We were walking home. He was like, hey, Lo, look at this. And I'm like, what? He pulled out a fucking gun. I thought it was a joke. I thought it was an airsoft gun because there was like a laser on it. And I was like, oh, funny, dude. I get it. It's a costume. And he was like, no, look. He, he cocked it back to release one in the chamber because there's always one in the chamber. I don't know guns. Whatever.
Uh-huh.
And he gave me the magazine. I examined the magazine, drunk as fuck, and I was like, oh my God, this is a real gun. And I remember vividly telling him, I was like, yo, wipe your gun. Wipe your gun. I'm not trying to go to jail.
Yeah, but you're missing the worst part of the story, which was you were still on FaceTime with me during this, and all I hear over the FaceTime call was, oh shit, he's got a gun. And then you hang up on me. You hung up the FaceTime call. Whether you wanted to or not, the last words I heard out of your mouth on the FaceTime call were, oh shit, you have a gun. And then, and immediately I turn around. I'm like, fuck Kareem. Like, he's probably at the house by now. I'm sprinting back towards Lorenzo. I was waiting to hear a fucking gunshot. I'm like, Lorenzo's dead. Like, I'm gonna have to pick his limp body up off the ground and rush him to the hospital. Like, this is gonna be bad.
That was one way to end the night. And then we made wings at home.
Yo, wings, and Ohm was like, Lorenzo's roommate was like, yo, I'm gonna put some barbecue sauce on the wings too. So it was Frank's Red Hot with a little bit, like, talk about confidently guessing. I was like, you know what, dude, go for it, whatever.
Have you ever had lemon pepper wet?
Don't get me started. And then lemon pepper fries from Wingstop.
What do you mean lemon? I've never had the lemon pepper fries. I've just had like the regular,
It's the lemon pepper, but on fries.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know if I would like that because I already like Wingstop fries as it is.
But like,
because like the seasoning is like salty, sweet.
Yeah, but like sometimes you want some lemon pepper and then you dip it in some ranch.
I actually don't like pepper that much. I've had a bad experience when I was like younger. Because like Filipino food has a lot of peppercorns.
Oh, mixed peppercorns?
Huh?
Mixed peppercorns?
No, just like straight peppercorns, right?
Yeah.
And when I take bites when I'm eating, I just get a mouth full of peppercorns, and I'm like, ugh. That's why I don't like pepper too much.
Pepper.
Anyways,
what about like oh my God, what's that called? Oh, Maraspa beer. That was something Brad Leone introduced me to. Maraspa beer. They're Turkish red pepper flakes. You put that shit on pizza. It's like oily instead of regular. There's like dry packet crap
we were having this conversation yesterday, and I was totally thinking about like the Chinese chili oil.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So that's what we're going to try is we're going to do an episode all about Chinese chili oil and Maraspa beer on pizza. We're going to get a pizza place to sponsor it.
Size Pizza down in Eugene. I'm literally a #1 customer there. Every time I walk in, they know what I'm supposed to order or what I'm going to order.
That pizza was so good. Wow. Someone has a small dick. Oh. We heard a really loud car
vroom,
outside.
Vroom.
Drive Teslas, folks. Cool. Yeah, I guess, and then, round it out.
Yeah.
Just to go back to adulting, because that's something that I really want to focus on for the last second of here. We run into some crazy shit.
Yeah.
As y'all just heard.
Most definitely, yeah.
Like
that's one of the craziest experience I've had at the University of Oregon for sure.
And it was my first experience at the University of Oregon. Yeah. So the bar is set real fucking high for tonight.
Exactly.
Is like at the end of the day, you're really on your own to make decisions and to deal with shit like that. Because the second, like, even just in that moment, the second I heard like he has a gun, I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna call anybody. Like, I don't, like, my parents aren't here. Like, I'm my own person now.
Yeah.
Like, at that moment, you're like, you have to make some decisions, and you just, like, even if you don't know what to do, you gotta guess. You gotta do something. And with work and stuff, like you don't. I mean, this is gonna sound like an 8-year-old, but it's like you don't have a bedtime. You're not gonna have parents to tell you to like do your homework. Like, you have to motivate yourself to do stuff,
right?
And you just have to like figure it out, because most of the time you don't know what's going on. You don't know what you're doing, and that's weird. That's real weird, and it's a new experience that you like ease into, because at first you kind of deny it a little bit. You're like, no, like I'll just I'll do this. I mean, or like I'll wait for someone to tell me.
Also, there is not one human experience. There are a lot of things that we share that are similar, but at the end of the day,
right, you ever sit on a bus and look at someone and you're like, what the fuck is going through that person's head?
Exactly. Everybody is formed by their own experiences, and
and we
have to take that into account when we're dealing with new people as well.
Right.
Because not everybody's going to react the same way to what you're saying.
Yeah. No, for sure. And it's all, you just got to take it as it comes.
Exactly.
Day by day.
Woot,
all right.
Woot.
Woot woot. Well, I think that's a solid first episode of Confidently Guessing. What do you think?
Yeah, no, it was interesting.
Yeah.
we were all over the place, to be honest.
Yeah.
But that's fine.
That's good.
It keeps the viewers on their toes, right?
Yeah, no, exactly.
And I'm not a dick. I really hope I'm not. A lot of the shit I said on this podcast was really... I felt like it was kind of conceited. I'm not like that, I swear.
No, he's great. I wouldn't have him as the first guest if he was that conceited.
Oh, wait. One thing I do want to point out for the YouTube viewers. These are the flags of the nations of the household. So there are 3 of us. I'm Filipino. My roommate is Lebanese. And my other roommate is Indian. And I just want to point out that we're all first-generation Americans. And I feel like I make that such a big part of my identity, because it really is my identity. And I'm confidently guessing and how I should plan my impact on America and for the future of my family.
Good stuff. I love that. That's awesome. But yeah, awesome. Well, dude, thank you so much for having me, for hosting me. I'm sleeping on your couch here. Like, I'm in your home, and you're taking me around and showing me a fucking crazy time here. So thank you for being here on the first episode. We're here for a good time,
not for a long time. That's another frat boy thing.
Amen. But that one I agree with. The movie part, I don't think it's gonna be a movie.
Yeah.
Not gonna be a movie.
Yeah.
Awesome. Cool. Well, I'm gonna be posting some of the playlists and stuff we mentioned here. And is there anything you want to plug? Your socials or your Spotify?
So my socials, usually all of them are Lorenzo Alzona, Alzona.
Mm-hmm.
But if you want to hear my like mixes that I've made as a DJ, you should probably DM me on Instagram. If anything, but
Awesome. Yeah, and then I'm going to be posting some of the playlists we talked about,
Of
and
course.
even a new one for the podcast on the Confidently Guessing Instagram at confidently.guessing. So give that shit a follow, and thanks again.
Alhamdulillah.
Hell yeah.
Coolio.